We're doing a unboxing review. I'm gonna record it, so there's gonna be an edited version. But since my since my live viewers are so strong, I figure I do this stuff live as well. So stay tuned for the long form edited video if you want to catch all the details. But once I get things kind of cleaned up and back in place, because I've been a mess lately, I'll get started. I've got things everywhere. This away. One less tool out that I need to worry about right now. Alright, get my stuff powered up and get started here. Shouldn't need any of these. This bin. Good. Let's pull up. Soften. There we go. All right, there's that. Hi. Stay tuned. I'm going to get started here just about right now, actually. Fire this up. And we're recording. So we're going to get started on this review. Like I said, I'm going to pay attention to the camera in front of me, so stay, if you want to see the edited video, stay tuned. I'm going to have that up hopefully this week. I kind of have to anyway, so it's going to be this week. Anyways. Hi, everybody. Well, gone are the days where you have to spend as much money as your first car to get a... shit. What did I want to say? Gone are the days where you have to spend as much money as you spent on your first car to get a welding machine in your garage. There was a time where there was three companies that dominated, and they all were relatively expensive, even cheap ones. But now with the advent of new technology and third parties stepping up and actually bringing us some really decent machines to get started with, such as, yes, Welder, and Blue Demon, of course. There have been another category of welders that take cheap to a whole new level. Now, I tried a $35 Amazon welder a couple months back, and it was okay. It worked. But now I got a new company that sent me their welding machine for me to try. And the name of that company is Cephosby, and they sent me their mini stick 120. So we're going to open this box and do an unboxing and review and see how well this thing really does. Now, it seems like everybody's got some sort of special way to open a box other than a knife. I've seen some swords, I've seen some chainsaws, I've seen circular saws. I guess this being a welding channel, we use a cutting death wheel. Well, I'll try it again. Since this is a welding channel, we're going to use a death wheel. That worked unreasonably well. Oh, good, another box. Look at that. Inside the box is a box. And there we go. So inside this box is their 120 volt 6 weld. Wow, that's small. They weren't kidding. They did tell me this thing was hand size, pocket size. They told me it was small. But in the box, you get a welder, plugs into 120 volt only. You get a stinger. Okay, that's a good start, and a semi-decent weld clamp. Usually they have these stamp-style ground clamps that are really no better than jump starter cables. That's actually kind of promising. User manual. That is really tiny. Let's read the user manual real quick. Sometimes you can tell how well this is going to be by how well the English is laid out. Single phase manual arc welding is the process of joining metals where an arc is struck between the metal to be welded and a flux-coated filler wire. Okay. MMA welding machine has the following characteristics. Oh, here we go. MMA welding machine has the following characteristics: effective, power saving, compact, stable arc, good welding pull, high no load voltage, and good capacity of force compensation. It can weld stainless steel, alloy steel, carbon steel, copper, and other color metal. I mean, so far so good. It's not too bad. They're trying. Yeah, a very basic machine. I also get wire brush and chip and hammer, kinda. And I actually get some E6013, 2.5 mil, so that's 3/32 of an inch. Vacuum sealed. Okay, we're definitely gonna try those. I would say so far so good. Not too bad. This is going to be a very unbiased and honest review. I already warned them of that. They were okay with it. Okay. Now oh yeah. So the cost-cutting measures went into the stinger. That thing is stamped steel, not very great. I mean, you gotta cut the cost somewhere, right? I'm thoroughly impressed with this ground clamp. Now, I wish it was less. I am thoroughly impressed with the quality of the ground clamp. These are still very cheap, but this is a lot better than what they could be. The gauge wire is very thin. That's concerning. It's thinner. It's actually thinner than the power cable. Well, we're gonna power it up and see how it does. But I wish they gave me more than 3 feet of wire. Let's see how much. There's a lot of power cord here. There's a lot of power cord here. So you give me 10 feet of power cord, and only give me 3 feet of the cables. I'll plug it right in. And I need a piece of metal. Tomato, what's going on? I'm testing out a new welder, Safospi. That's how you're supposed to say it, apparently. Sent me a welding machine to try. It's 80 bucks. So we're gonna see how it does. Well, I guess first things first, I gotta find a piece of steel that I am not using. And try and weld something. Oh. Oh. Sure. Alright, so this is off my air suspension system that I used on my trailer. This is a piece that's probably 14 gauge metal if I were to guess. We'll knock the powder coating off of it and try it. Haha, man, you're the man, as always. Bend that up right there. Ooh, I'll touch my fingers. Probably. I can tell you this, they sent it to me because they said it's really good. That's what I got, really good. We're gonna try it. I mean, I have yet to even power it on yet, so I wanna get my stuff ready. What's the worst that can happen? Worst thing that can happen is that I hate it. Radio then. All right. There you go, guys. Oh, it's leaking. Well, let's power this thing on. Okay, pretty quiet. I expect it to be. It's kind of a small machine. Now this thing cost $80, $79. That cinder welder that I was using before cost $35. So I guess we're going to compare it to that. Now, first things first, looking at this. Oh, never mind. It's not immediately apparent, but there is a positive and negative symbol cut into this. It would be nice if they had the positive side red so we knew which one to switch. A little bit easier. These don't lock in very well. Alright, I think they locked in. It's not incredibly engaging. That's better. That's better. Okay. Alright, we're locked in here. This is the amperage dial. And it'll go all the way up, it says, to 120 amps. So at least it's not lying and telling me 200 amps, but I have doubts about 120 amps. I don't know what this is. So I'm supposed to be able to adjust. Oh, that's the hot start. Wait a second. What? That's confusing as hell. Owner's manual. Installation, brace accessories, I definitely, operating functions. This indicator lights up, the machine is overheated. Okay, that's not an issue. Operation. Gives me an electrical diagram. But I'm having a hard time trying to find what that button does. Operating functions, overview. Let's go to overview. Information, power voltage, frequency. Okay, so duty cycle is 60%. It's got an F grade insulation. Meh. Output current 30 to 120. So this says recommended maximum supply of 20 amps, and that's what that is. So we should be able to get everything. Duty cycle no load voltage is 76 volts. That's pretty good. Okay, I mean, it's got decent specs, but it's only assuming it actually works. Please revert to the panel for adjustable parameters. What? Alright, so this is confusing. So if I hold this in, it gives me that. I'm assuming that is the open circuit voltage. And I give it a click, and then it gives me that. I don't know what that is. And it goes all the way up. It's 999, and then down to 100, 100 to 1,000. What could that possibly be? I'm gonna set it in the middle, and we're gonna play with it. Then I hit it again, and then it gives me this. And this goes from 80 to 330? These are weird numbers. This doesn't make any sense. Alright, we'll start in the middle of 165. And then we're done. Now we're back to what I assume to be our amperage. Oh boy. This is going to be interesting. Alright, so I guess we'll figure out these settings as I go. It's going to take a little bit of messing with. Now, they only gave me in the package, vacuum sealed package, 5 rods. And it says 6013 on it. I have a bunch of Blue Demon. I have a bunch of Blue Demon filler metals, which Blue Demon is the sponsor of this channel, which is why I'm wearing the jacket. why I wear the Panda V2 hood, and of course why I use the rods. I've been using their products ever since I started welding in my own home. So I want to thank them for being a sponsor of their channel, and I will stay loyal to the brand, not only because they are my sponsor, but because they make really good stuff. Like this hood. This hood is amazing. Whee! We on? Well, yep, we're on. All right, so we're at 70 amps, which is usually where I run 332, 6013, just about. At 70 amps on this thin metal, I should be able to get full penetration and then some. So, well, we'll try it. We'll see if they're lying to me. I am happy about that power cord being that long, though. That's kind of nice. All right, well, put it in this freaking thing, and it holds it. Doesn't hold it very well. All right, well, let's run it and see how we do. Huh. That was actually pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't so bad. What the hell? That wasn't bad at all. What? Yeah, I'm okay with that. All right, let me run again. Yeah, I'm melting through. I'm melting right through. Okay, this is looking pretty good. This is looking pretty good. Now this is 12 gauge metal, don't get me wrong, but usually these machines don't have the power to push that through. Now the reason why it's cutting off, it has this anti-stick function to it, which can be really good, but in a situation like this where I want to get that arc really nice and close, it's not ideal. So, so far overall, first attempt, not bad. And those rods are, they feel like 60-13, they really do. I need to find something a little thicker to run on. that I'm not currently using. I have a lot of steel scrap left. Nah, I guess I was going to use these first. So we're at 70. I'm going to jump it to 75. We still have those other weird settings set right in the middle. Do I have my cylinder here? A little bit more. Starting to get a little intermittent. Let's mess with these settings a little bit. I don't know what this is. That's got to be the hot start. What's next? I'm at 500. We're gonna bump this all the way up to 999, and then where I was at 165. We're you know what? We're gonna do one thing at a time. Okay, still 75 amps. I got the first setting up to 999, and I don't even know what it does. Okay, that's interesting. It's cutting out. $80? It's looking like about 80 amps, 75 amps. All right, so we're at 80, which is as high as this rod should be able to handle reasonably. No, we're running 6013 right now. That's what came in the package. Okay. Why is it cutting out like that? All right, so that 999, that 0 to 1,000, I think is the arc force or arc control, because I have it set all the way to crisp. That means that would be all the way to crisp. Leave that. I want to set it all the way to, as low as it'll go, 100. And then leave everything else. And see what we get there. But it's laying some decent beads, I'm not gonna lie. So just this is a little. Still using the rods that they gave us. That is definitely our control. Okay, that is definitely our control. So 0, 100 to 1,000 is the arc control. So that's the second setting. First setting is the open circuit voltage, which goes from 0 to, or like 20 to 50. The second setting from 100 to 1000, that's the arc control for sure. That was nice and soft and hell. I mean, holy shit, that ain't bad. That's not bad at all. No, so we're running 332. This machine, there's no way this thing could run 3/16 rod. Alright, so I'm going to keep it at 80 amps. I'm going to keep the open circuit voltage all the way up. I'm going to up the arc force a little bit to 150. And then this second one, we're going to figure out what this is. So I'm going to crank 80 to 150. We're going to go all the way down to 80 on that. Alright, so open circuit voltage goes from 5 to 50. We're going to keep that up. This goes from 150 to... So this is the arc control that goes all the way from 100 to 999. Now the interesting thing... This third one, I don't know what it does, so we're gonna keep it at 80. So this third setting goes from 80 to 150. I don't have the slightest clue as to what that means. So let's say all the way down to 80. New rod. That's got to be the anti-stick function. So the anti-stick seems to be adjustable. Now that is interesting. So I'm going to take it and turn it all the way up. And put 200. And it looks like the anti-stick function is adjustable as far as your arc control is. So I have the arc control set at 200. That means I can put the anti-stick all the way up to 200. This is incredibly cool. I've never had a machine so complex before. I'm gonna figure it out though. I'm really gonna figure out how the hell this freaking thing works. Alright, let's try again. I'm turning everything. The only thing I don't like is that it's running actually really good, but it's so intermittent. Ow, fuck you. I don't like that at all. Alright, so we're going to go open circuit voltage all the way up. We're going to turn the arc control all the way up. And then we're going to turn whatever this thing is. Okay, so it goes as high as 330. Whatever that means. that's different. That felt a little stronger. Definitely felt a little stronger. And a little bit better. My iron control's all the way up though. It doesn't feel like it's all the way up. Yeah, that felt better. 85. All right, we're at 85 amps now. We're just gonna keep going up until something happens at this point. I got everything set all the way up. Let me go, I'm gonna see if this is the open circuit voltage. I'm pretty sure it is. Turn it all the way down to 5. Keep that all the way up, keep that all the way up. Alright. Alright, so I got what I think is the OCV all the way down to 5. Let's see. Yep, that's what that is. So in a lot of machines, if you have the OCV too low, that's what it'll do with 6013. Every time you try to keep a tight arc, it cuts out. Anytime you try to long arc it a little bit, it cuts out. That's definitely OCV. So I'm actually going to fine tune that a little bit. So, turn the OCV up a little bit. Yeah, that's about what that feels like. I think that intermittent issue seems to be the rods themselves. I don't necessarily think it's the machine. To test that theory, drop test. Still running. Okay, to test that theory, I got some quality Blue Demon 6013 welding electrode that is also 332. We're going to see how well these do on the same settings. Oh, interesting. Doesn't like these rods too much. That's a problem. Still, I mean, it didn't lay down too much. Alright. Maybe it's not the rods. We're going to try and iron out. We're going to try and iron this out. Yeah, it's the 1/8 inch test plate. That intermittent issue is getting very annoying. Let's turn it up to 90. Still. Let's turn it down. Turn it down to 65. A little on the lower side for 6013. That was better. Down to 60. It's super sensitive to arc length. At this point, I'm just kind of messing with the settings, trying to find something to work. Almost out of their rods, and then we're gonna switch with go with Blue Demon. $6013 is actually supposed to be a mild rod. It's not supposed to be aggressive at all. I am going to try this thing with $6010, but I doubt it. I highly, for $6011, but I highly doubt it's going to run it. 60 amps, here we go, let's try again. Okay, it is incredibly sensitive to arc length. That's not ideal. We are going back up to 70 amps, so 60 amps is just not enough. I can't get the slag out of its own way. One more rod of, never mind. Yeah, it's darkling. Well, that's not good for it. I mean, it's laying down really good beads. It's just that intermittent problem that I'm having right now, and maybe it's my settings, but again, an $80 welding machine, you're looking at, you know, somebody who's just getting into welding using this thing, and it's not a confidence booster when something like that happens. But I'm intent on figuring out the exact settings. That way, you guys want to buy these and use these at home and learn how to weld. You have the settings. Like I said, I'm using their rods, just trying to get this thing to run and get an idea. And then I'm going to switch to my Blue Demon rods and see if I switch them. I can tell that it already doesn't like the Blue Demon rods. I don't know why, because I find the Blue Demon 6013 easier to run than anything I've ever ran.
It starts really well, though.
It's that anti-stick function. So what happens with these machines is that if it senses that you're going to stick, or it thinks you're going to stick, then it cuts you off, so you don't stick it. But, and maybe it's my style of welding, I don't know, but I don't like anti-stick functions. We're going to save that. We're going to go right to the Blue Demon rods. Now I set what I think to be the R control all the way down. And then I set what I think to be, I forget, 0 to 330 at 100. We're going to try that. I'm determined to figure this out. The welder was $80. And they sent it to me so I could try it out for them. I'm going to go for broke here. We're going to go to what's indicated to be 100 amps. Now, usually, 100 amps will blow my wall outlet, or blow my circuit breaker. So, if this is 100 amps, I should burn right through this plate. Oh, that's frustrating as hell. I can't even get it to run at that. I don't know, 100? You know, something tells me it's the draw. Something tells me it can't get enough amperage. From it smells like it's burning. We're going to clamp onto it and see. So I got it set. Got a multimeter here. I've got it set to 20 amps. I'm going to clamp it on and see what the max is. Right now I'm at 0.7. I'm going to see what the max pull is on this while I'm doing this. And if it overloads this, then I know it's trying to pull too much amperage. Okay. I've only got it to run, but I got definitely a very tight arc. So right now it's not drawing much of anything. Got no draw rate. 0.0 amps is what it's telling me. I got it set to show me what the max is, so let us see. I finally figured it out. I gotta have that thing basically buried into the arc. Is that right? Set it to auto. try again, because according to that, my maximum was only 0.29. That doesn't sound right. I am gonna say that does feel hot. I burnt that rod up, so I don't know if it's 100 amps, but it's getting there. Okay, so we're running at right now. It's at, let's check the voltage because it's not sensing a lot of amperage. Fine. It's not sensing a lot of amperage at all. Try again. It's definitely hot. I don't know if it's quite 100 amps, but interesting. So the max pull on this thing was 120 volts, 119 exactly. And then the maximum amperage seemed to have been about 15. Huh. Now I got this rod to run. Now, seriously, it likes that arc to be as tight as you can get it. I am pushing into the material. So to tell you my settings for 332 6013, I'm at 100 amps, which is a little hot. So I'd probably drop down to 80. My OCV is up at 50. My second setting of 100 to 1000 is at 100. And then my third setting that goes from 5 to 330 is also at 100. God only knows what they are. Pretty confident the second one is the arc control and the third one is the anti-stick, variable anti-stick function. Let's try some new rods. What else I got in here? 7018. This is the smoothest running rod that I can run. And if this one doesn't work smoothly on this machine, then honestly, nothing will. Because these rods are some of this 7018 is one of those rods where it can work on damn near any machine. 6013 should be that way, but it can be a little finicky. 7018 is just gorgeous in every way. So let's see what we got. Now I turned it down to 85 amps. I left everything else the same, and we're gonna see what it does. Definitely not anti-stick. It's not anti-stick. It should have turned off by now. So if it was a real anti-stick function, it wouldn't have smoked out my rod. Unless I have it turned off. But I don't even know how to turn it on. Let's turn this all the way up. Okay, so the second setting, which I assume to be the R control, is turned all the way up, which usually 7018 doesn't actually like that. It likes a softer R. But we'll see.
Ooh, that's different. What the hell? That's not R control.
That's also not 85 amps.
You kidding me? Come on.
I'm determined to make this thing work. What the hell is going on with this machine? So now it's stuck. So now it's stuck on 999 amps apparently. Turn it off. So we're going to turn off for a second. It's stuck on 999. All right. So now it's at the point where I don't know what happened, but it's apparently my amper's at 999 amps. The other settings, I don't know what the hell they do. I am now frustrated because I can't get to run 7018. 7018 is, honest to God, the easiest rod for a welder to run. I don't understand why it's not doing it. Let's go back to 6013 that they gave me and try it again to see if I just grenaded the machine. Didn't grenade the machine. As a matter of fact, that actually felt probably better than the other rod, but I can't change the amperage. For shits and giggles, Let's turn this all the way down to as low as it'll let me go. 50. See if it'll run that 6013 rod again.
That's definitely low amperage.
That's definitely lower amperage, but that makes no sense. That makes no sense as to I'm turning everything up. I can't. Amperage is out. $9.99. Try one more time. I don't know how it doesn't like 7018. The roll rods to dislike. 7018 is not the one to dislike. Okay. Let me show you something real quick. This is my yes welder YWM 211P. I had contracted with yes welder a couple years ago in order to help them improve their machine. This machine was given to me from them in order to try it out, and it is a really good machine. Now, their new machines, the DP200s and the MIG MP200s and all those other ones, that's the next generation of me. That's the next generation machines. Me, along with a couple other people, have put input into them as they asked for it to say what needs to be done, and we gave them their input and they came out with the new machines. And honestly, the new machines blow everything out of the water. That DP200 is a monster. The CT2050, which is a 7-in-1, the plasma cutter, air compressor, stick welder, TIG welder, AC and DC, it's amazing. It honestly is actually amazing. Talking to Blue Demon about trying one of their Genesis machines, which is supposed to be top notch. Now we're talking about a different price bracket with those. Oh God. Now, the reason for all my ranting here is that these machines are marketed for people to get started welding. The fact that I'm sitting here for 2.5 hours trying to figure out how to run the machine before I'm confident enough to actually use it on a fabrication project is atrocious. So to show you, all I did was turn this machine on, set it to stick mode, put it on 85 amps, which is the about the amperage that I run for 332 7018 and watch. Now it's not preset. I haven't saved any preset settings. But watch what happens. And I lay down a dime just like that. Okay. That's the one that I did with the yes. Now, of course, yes, I am used to this machine. This is one that I've used for the past couple of years. I have used the living hell out of it, and it has never let me down. But I maintain what I say when all I have to do is just arc and go. Let me try another one. This is my Cinder whatchamacallit. Okay, this is the $35 welding machine that I tried, that I bought from Amazon a couple months ago to try the cheapest welder on Amazon. And to be perfectly honest with you, it's not bad. Not great, but not bad. Power cord is only like 8 feet long. Not even 8 feet, it's like 5 feet. About the same size. It's about half the cost. And I gotta find my weld needs for that one. Because these won't reach. Now maybe I'm just being an old, maybe I'm just being that type of welder that just likes division. I don't know. But this is set to what it says to be 120 amps. I know it's hard to see. Let's just move the camera. Now, this is set to what it says to be 120 amps. I know from experience, it is not 120 amps. It is more like 75, maybe 80 on a good day. But again, 7018, I'm using the same stinger and ground clamp that Safosby gave me, and I'm going to see how this machine performs on a piece of steel. We're having no problem. it's the cables. Nope, not the cables. What the hell? I know this thing just worked on me. I just used it for one plug. I just used it for... I look like an idiot right now, I really do. This rod holder fucking sucks. I know this worked. I did it. I know this worked. I fucking did it. Ay, ay, ay. Let's just preheat the rod, shall we? Well, I didn't prove my point at all. I wonder. I'm gonna throw 6-13, see how it does there. Okay, that machine's $35. Even though it took me a fucking year to do it. Let's go back. Let's try that again. Sorry everybody, that was saw me on a little rant there. Let's reevaluate because my expectations are a little high. I'm gonna regroup on that. I'm calm again. Sorry. You just watched me rant on the machine and expecting it to perform like a $300, $400, $500 stick welder. Well, I'm going to reevaluate. These machines clearly do not have the capacity to run something like 7018 because even though 7018 is a very easy rod to run for most machines, it does need a lot of voltage to get it started. 6013 does not need a lot of voltage to get it started. So let's put the 7018 away. I got a little ahead of myself. Let's calm back down. Find our center. And grab some 6011 to piss myself off again. Come here. That's not 6011. I don't know where it is. Anywho. There it is. I don't know. Alright, anyways. Let's put this away. These machines are designed for beginners. People that are just getting started to weld. So 6013 is one of the best beginner rods to use because it has qualities that can do a little bit of everything. It has some penetration power, but it is smooth and easy to run typically. So let's restart. I'm not going to completely restart. I have I'm going to use this piece of tubing and I'm going to do back to back to back welds. I have the Sabosby MMA 120 welder. I have the Cinder Arc 120 welder, and I have my Yes Welder YWM 211P behind it, the workhorse that I have been using for years. And we're going to compare the two based on the settings that I would use. Now, this one, for whatever reason, now says $9.99. I can't change it. This one still works. And then I have the S-Welder, which has been working forever. I'm going to do a philosophy Welder 6013 on top with some Blue Demon 6013, which I know is really good rod. I'm going to use the Cinder Arc 120, and then I'm going to run the S-Welder, and we're going to look at how they lay a bead down. Now, for the philosophy and the Cinder, I'm going to turn it all the way up. I believe both these machines at full blast run actually about 80 amps, not 120 amps. The S-Welder, however, I am going to run that at about 80 amps because that thing runs like a raised eight. So, philosophy up top. Okay? Great. God, fucking Jesus. Put this one to the side. Cinder Arc 120 set at 120 amps, which is actually about an 80. And we'll put that in the middle. Phosphate was up top. We'll put the Cinder in the middle. Okay, that one was kind of intermittent as well, but it was much more controlled, and I will have to say that was much hotter. That was actually a little hotter than that rod is really supposed to run. Okay. And then we will do the S-Welder. Mind you, the S-Welder is considered one of those third-party machines that people don't consider buying. We're going to put it at 80 amps. Okay? This is kind of a little unfair because it's a higher capacity machine, more expensive, but I just want to show you the difference here. Alright? It's really about the Cinder versus the phosphate. But at 80 amps, watch this. Effortless. Effortless. Oh, that was incredibly frustrating. My God. So, we've got phosphate weld right here, cinder weld right here, yes welder welder right here. Now, for all of them, I was running about 10 amps hotter than what was necessary according to what the machines said. So, in reality, well, I'll tell you what, I'll do another one with the S welder because I don't trust the other two. No, fuck it. So that's as hot as I'm willing to go with that rod. 80 amps is too hot, okay? Now, I will turn my S welder back on since it's plugged in. Oh. So now on a separate side, I'm just going to forget the Euro machine for now, and because I can't change the amperage. And we're going to go with the phosphate at what I believe to be a reasonable amperage. It says 80. After messing with this machine, I think 80 is closer to 70, which is about what I would run this rod at. Oops, a daisy. Let's try this again. That is the cinder on a more reasonable amperage, 70 amps. Well, it's not perfect, but it's okay. Now, yes, welder. Again, 70 amps. Same process, same rods, a little bit more of a reasonable amperage range on the bottom side. Cinder up top. Whoopsies. Cinder up top, yes, Welder down the bottom. 60-13. Still not bad. Where is my hat? Oh, I know. It's never how you would have done it, right? Always wrong. So what have I learned? Oh, let's wait. So what have I learned today? Well, I have learned that my $35 cinder welder really isn't so bad. Because this thing that costs $80 seems to only like the rods that it comes with. And then what are you supposed to do when you run out of 5 rods? Buy another machine? I tried to run the Blue Demon 6013, which has worked great on every other machine and has been the rod that I've used on many projects, and it has a hard time running. I tried 7018 and it couldn't run it to save his life. Now I kind of forgot that the cinder can't run 7018 very well either. But even talking about 6013, which is the most common beginner rod to use, the $35 machine beat it by a substantial margin. So I'm a little frustrated. I'm a little frustrated at the fact that these manufacturers are making these machines and trying to target a market where people just don't know any better, not because they haven't done the research or anything like that, but they're just learning. They haven't started yet. So they're trying to get into the business. And when they see somebody like me using a $600 machine behind me, $600 is a lot to throw out on a machine that you don't know if you're going to like it or not. So yeah, they're going to look at cheaper options. Now, I guess, what do you expect for an $80 machine? Well, to be honest with you, I expected a little bit more. I am pretty disappointed at the fact that it has 4 settings, and I have no idea what 3 of them are. One of them's amperage. The other one I am pretty confident was R control, and then the other one was the, I tend to think to be the voltage settings, and then the open circuit voltage. I don't know. It didn't say it in the manual, and I have no idea. And now, after using it for a short period of time, it's stuck on 999 on the amperage, whatever the hell that means. No matter what I do, I can't change it. So, if you can't tell by my frustration, do your research. And if there is any other welding machines that you find out there that you want me to test, leave a comment, send me a message on Facebook or Instagram, and let me know what it is. Give me a link. and maybe I'll test it. Because this is the stuff that drives me insane. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. We're going to start working on this go-kart project a little bit more. Again, if you have any other welding machines you want me to test, feel free to send them to me. I'd love to test them. I'll see you later. Hi. This is the new welding machine I'm going to test today. And here's what I think of it. Okay. I think I may have gotten the point across. All right, well, you guys got to see me rant for a little bit. I'll open it up for question and answers for a little while I kind of just tidy up the mess that I just made for no apparent reason. Yeah, so the biggest thing that frustrates me the most about these third-rate machines is that they really are trying to, oh, I broke it. They really are trying to sell these things, and they sell them to consumers that aren't aware or don't know what they're buying. And, when you look at a welder, $35, $80, in reality, should you be happy that it's even working? Well, I mean, yeah, but at the same time, if you're going to market something to do something, then it should do that something. If it doesn't do that something, then it's not what you bought it for. It's a scam. And this company sent me a message and said, we want you to try this machine out. And I told them straight up that I'm going to give them a blunt, honest review. And they must have thought, I don't know what they thought, to be honest with you. So it's kind of beyond me that it goes to this level where they sell this stuff on Amazon and they expect people to buy them. And then, you got somebody who's trying to learn to weld, doesn't know any better, and then they try this machine, and because it's their first time welding, they can't get it to arc, and they're wondering if it's them. When in reality, they bought a shitty machine. Like, how do you do that? These people are trying to get into the industry. Even if they're just trying to do something at home, and then you sell them this piece of junk. I was less upset when I bought the Simdo. It was $35. What would you expect for $35? And it actually welded. The table that the phone is sitting on right now was welded with that thing. It actually works. It lies to you, but it works. God, you want to talk about frustrating. I've never been that frustrated at a machine before. I guess what frustrates me the most is that they sent me that machine and they give me the sales pitch about how they're trying to break into the market and market a cheaper welder for individuals, and they said we don't lie about anything. You know, we say it's only good for 120 amps and that's it. Like, there's no way you can do 120 amps. And I did have high hopes for it when I started. I'm sure some of you has heard it. I got it to start and it ran a little bit and it was, you know, okay. I'm like, all right, well, maybe it's the settings, maybe it's me. I mess with the settings a little bit and the settings make no sense at all. It makes that Simdo welder look like a fucking Lincoln or Miller. Well, we're here. I'm never using the machine again. That company's gonna be pissed at me, but so be it. I just can't get behind a tool. I can't get behind selling a tool that doesn't work. That makes no sense. And then to send it to a welder who, you know, not only does it on YouTube to show people how to weld, but has done this for years and has worked on many, many different machines with many different styles, types, sizes. And then to expect me to rave about it? You're out of your freaking mind. I'm sorry if I'm coming off harsh, but this just is, in my mind, it's unacceptable. And this goes to show you, it doesn't matter if I get these machines for free or not. I'm not going to sit here and, you know, save face and try to play nice and sell stuff. I mean, they gave me a coupon code and, you know, it's recognition and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, if it's no good, then why in the hell would I want you guys to buy it? One, that makes me look bad, but two, it doesn't get you guys started. Piece of stamp steel. I'm sorry, I'm pissed now. I'm upset. I'm actually quite frustrated. I want to see the inner workings of this machine. See what we got going on. This is not something that I normally do on the channel because, to be honest with you, I'm not some electrician that knows what I'm looking at. So don't expect me to look in here and tell you exactly what's going on. I have a general idea, but that general idea is very general. I know welding machines just because I've had to break them apart. All right, let's see here. We've got two small capacitors, an inductance coil. Well, I'll go over this. So, let's take all this plastic sheeting. Chickens, you're not getting out of there. We got a lot of aluminum in here to shield it, which is kind of cool. Or as a heat sinks. Ha! Literally just jammed self-tappers in there. There's no way this is efficient. It's just a bunch of aluminum. So you got two small capacitors. You've got the little transformer here that transforms the current so you can weld with it. And then you got a shit ton of heat sinks. I mean, that's kind of nice, but Look at the quality of those windings on that coil. That's pretty poor. And then they zip tied one of the wires with some fiberglass heat shield on it and wrapped it around it. It's got to be a sensing coil of some sort. These capacitors. I'm gonna take this. This is actually, the one thing I was impressed about is that they got like a 10-foot freaking coil. Or a 10-foot power cord. Damn, these are in there. What the hell, man? Jesus! Like tamper-proof? There's not a lot going on in here. It's nothing special. Nothing. See, this is the only part I like about this machine. The power cord's like 8 feet long. That's probably why they charge you the extra $40 for it. I'm probably going to use this. Honestly, I'm probably going to put this on the cinder welder because it'll make it that much more usable. Because I'm serious when I say this. That little cinder welder, for what it is actually a fairly decent machine. Keep in mind that's a $35 welder. I want that switch. Don't ask me why. Yeah, no, that's boy. Hey, don't ask me why I want the switch, I just do. God, they're stuck in there good. What else we got in this fucking thing? I mean, honestly, the fit and finish of this thing is pretty poor. I mean, to say the least. Let's take the fan. Why? Well, because why not? That's why. Useful? Maybe. Those aluminum heat sinks are kind of big. That's kind of nice. All right. I think that's going to be it for now. I think you guys see me rant enough. I had to get going to bed anyways. I'm going to have to get up a little early. I'm not tired in the least bit. But, you know. Well, if some of you stick around to watch me freak out, thanks. If you didn't, rewind and watch it. I tested that welder that I took apart, and it was frustrating. So that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Check out the part 1 of the go-kart build. That's going to get rowdy. Every episode that I do is going to get more and more interesting. So stay tuned for that. And if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. Just put it up early this morning, I think. If I remember right. Yeah. I'll see you later.